Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor Podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. Each episode, we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and businesses that support the local community and make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, the Tiki Pub Fort Myers Beach, and Kurt Ryder's FMB. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Scheller.
Welcome, good neighbors. Today we have good neighbor Annie Meehan, a certified speaking professional. Wow, I better watch what I say, I guess, right? Or how I say it.
No judgment, no shade.
All right, okay. All right, well, thank you for that. And you're a coach. You do a lot of different things. So let's jump right into it. Why don't you share a little bit with our listeners first about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a professional speaker, and the difference between a public speaker and professional is professionals get paid to speak. So I have been doing this for 14 years. I speak 50 plus times a year all over the world. I've written 11 books, and I coach and consult with individuals and organizations to help them have more sunshine and less shade in their life.
I love it. I love it. So how did you get involved in all that to start with?
I started in the financial world. So I grew up in the financial world, 9 years, 5 promotions, stayed home with our 3 kids for a couple of years. Then I bought my first gym in a small town, a bigger gym. A year later, I built in a big city. And people kept asking me, how are you so positive? I want to be like you. I want to be like you. And I started speaking in the faith community, then the finance, and then corporations and organizations just kept sharing my name. And now I speak for a large different audiences and different topics, but I love hospitality and I love the symbol of pineapples to teach people how to be a pineapple person, which is sweet in a sometimes prickly world. So I get to do lots of cool things.
I love that. I love that. And so running a business about that, you found your passion, number one. That's important. You got to follow your passion, and sometimes it leads you somewhere you didn't even think about, but you got to follow it, and you're doing that. And I love that about you. But creating a business out of that, what type of challenges did you come across? Hey, I've got an idea. I know I'm good at this. What do I do next? Kind of scenario.
Yeah. That's a great question, Jim. A lot of people think they want to be speakers because they have a good story, but a story, people might listen, but they won't pay. You've got to figure out how to take your story and put it into strategy so that it's something for the audience, not just for you. And yes, definitely, Jim, super challenging. In 2020, I lost 110 speaking engagements. I thought it was a fluke that was going to go away, but it didn't. And it gave me the opportunity to fulfill another passion, and that was to come explore Fort Myers Beach and consider living here. But in the face of adversity, I remember my why. I think words are powerful. My written and spoken words help people heal, help people make better choices, shift their mindset, shift their leadership. And the reward of the hard work is that the difference it makes. But the challenge of rejection or people just wanting to listen to you but not pay you is ongoing. I've been doing this a long time and it still comes up, those challenges. So I think the passion behind it, I love my work, but more importantly than me loving my work, I love the impact that it's been able to make on people's lives. And people say, you changed my life, you healed my life. And I always say, thank you. And I don't have that much power, but I do have the power to invite them to make the changes they need to make so they can live an extraordinary life. So I think the reward of the result keeps me going. Even if I quit some nights because I'm so tired, I get up in the morning and go, all right, I'm ready to start again. So, yeah.
And the crazy part is you never know how many people or who you're touching. Because I get at it a lot with me sometimes with my posts or things that I do. People are like, I didn't even know you followed me. I didn't even know you like me, but they come up to me and say, thank you for posting what you do. Thank you for doing what you do. And I'm like, I wasn't even aware I touched you, but I appreciate it.
I love that. Total 100%. Especially with my books. I don't always know my audiences either. I have about 50,000 connections on social media, and people often ask me, how do you know this person? And a lot of times they were in my audience and they followed me, but I don't actually know them, but they feel like they know me. But with my books, I don't even know who orders them or where they go a lot of times. And people will write me a letter and say, 4 years ago, I read your book. It changed my whole life. I quit my job. I started a business. And you're just like, wow, how cool is that we get to be a positive influence in a world. So it's a beautiful thing, right?
And help people follow their passions, right? Absolutely.
100%.
So talking about passions, you mentioned you weren't from here originally. Where are you from originally?
It's a complicated question for me. I was born in San Francisco, then I lived in Illinois, and then I moved to Minnesota. By the time I was 18, I had moved 83 times. Minnesota is where I lived the majority of my life and where we raised our 3 kids. But every spring we came to Southwest Florida, whether it was Fort Myers Beach, Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita. We came for 30 years and I dreamed someday I'm going to live here. Someday I'm going to live here. And so we moved from Minnesota, where we raised our 3 kids and where they still live, to Fort Myers Beach. And we're blessed to have them come visit us here. And I still do about 40% of my work in Minnesota. So I'm back there a lot, but I do not miss the snow and cold. I love looking out at the sunshine and the beach. So
Exactly. Especially when it's -2 up there right now. And you're kind of like, well, it's 80 down here. I'm okay with that, right?
Exactly.
Snow shovel, we don't need one of those. What's that all about?
We went for Thanksgiving to Minnesota, and they said it was the coldest Thanksgiving in 11 years. I was like, oh, what are we doing here? So yes.
You know, and I was born in Wisconsin, grew up in Illinois. I did live in Minnesota for 1.5 years, so I understand the cold winters. It would get so cold up there that the snow wouldn't melt, and it would just get rutted on the road because they couldn't plow, you couldn't put ice or salt on it. It was crazy. I'm like, that's too cold. I like my drinks cold, but that's about it.
That's right.
So, doing what you're doing, do you see certain things maybe trending or evolving in your industry?
Sure. Lots of things. The first thing that comes to mind, Jim, is that I think we've lost sight of kindness. And kind of how you say sunshine and no shade, we decide Jim's different than me. I don't like him. And therefore, because I don't like him, I don't have to be nice to him. And then I can't work with him. And then I'm going to quit my job. And one thing in my industry is I get to help people shift that. Like, what if we could be different and still be civil? We kind of have this, like, people are waiting to be offended or to be mad or to not like you. And as a speaker, it's a pretty vulnerable position to take the front of the room, and you have to have a level of confidence to do it. But for me, being able to show people, what if instead of judging that person and they're different than you or you don't like them, what if you are curious about why they think the way they do, what they believe, how they speak, how they do that. So a theme is really been more challenging to expand people's minds, I think, than when I started 15 years ago, because people used to come hear us to want to learn and expand and be inspired. And now sometimes a percentage of the room is waiting to prove that you're wrong or to prove that you're challenged. And I always say, like, for me, I teach people to be professional speakers, to take their story and put it into strategy. And I say, I don't care about standing ovations. I don't even care if people like me. And that has taken me years. But really what it is remove the ego and care about them liking themselves better, care about them taking away tangible tools that they can implement right away. As a keynote speaker, it used to be just tell a story, inspire us, make us feel good. I think more is expected, and in a shorter period of time. It used to be 60 minutes, inspire us. And now it's 45 minutes, inspire us, educate us, give us something, keep our attention in a noisy, distracted world full of cell phones. How do you get people to not look down, to stay engaged, to be inspired, to take action, and to go out? So I think expectation is higher, but I love that, and I love a challenge. But there's a lot of threads on the importance. Plus, we live in an AI world. So how do we remind people that we need human connection in a disconnected, I don't even need you, I can figure it out myself? Does a keynote speaker still have value? And the organizations that get it are like, oh, you're amazing, you set the tone for this conference. But some people are like, no, we're not doing that anymore. We don't have to pay, or everything's on AI. I'm like, we still need human connection and kindness and sunshine. We need all that. So I don't know if that answered your question, but lots.
No, I love it. I love that, and I agree. I mean, so many times nowadays, I mean, customer service is a whole nother animal, but people are so confrontational when they meet people now. It's kind of like, why do you feel that way? Why don't you feel like me? And it's like, now you've got that friction between each other before you even get to know somebody and you're starting out. So I would say, put yourself in their shoes, understand why they believe that way, appreciate that they have a different opinion, and appreciate, just like you want them to appreciate your opinion. appreciate their opinion. And hey, we can agree to disagree. We don't have to like everything all the same all the time.
I mean, I'm going to be nice to you, Jim, and you're from Wisconsin, and we are scared of those green. And I'm wearing green, but you know, all the cheeseheads, you can still be friends with cheeseheads, even if you're from Minnesota. So, I mean, that's the thing. I think civility, that just, who cares if we're different? Like, we can still be friends, and we can be told. I have friends. I have such a diverse, eclectic group of friends, of all the people that are drunk every night at the bar, all the way to the Bible study every day, and everything in between. And I love that about my life. All people have stories and sacredness and value. And if we can keep our minds open and curious, we can create amazing relationships. So, yeah.
Exactly. I same with you. I talk with a lot of people of all different walks of life, appreciate their input and their value. But my tone is, I'm not here to change your opinion. I'm just here to understand more about why people think that way. And maybe down the line, maybe that changes my view or vision or whatever. But the more you learn, the more you're empowered to become the person you're supposed to be and decide who you want to be. So
absolutely.
I love that. So what is one thing that our listeners need to know about, I don't know, what you do and how you can help them that maybe they're not aware of?
I grew up with the learning difference. Some people would say I was disabled. I have dyslexia and ADHD, but what happened is everybody that bet against me became my inspiration for, instead of hearing, you'll never make it, I heard, I dare you. And so I shifted that in my brain. And I also learned something about myself. I learn in pictures, not words. And so I want to teach as simple as possible symbols. And I want to be memorable, not about me, but about what I'm teaching so people can implement it. And so in 2018, someone called me a pineapple person. I didn't know what it meant. And then they taught me the poem, how to be a pineapple person, stand up straight, wear a crown, be sweet on the inside. And it was cute. But I believe, Cabo, that everybody has a story behind their story. And I asked myself, how can I take this poem and turn it into a principle? What's the story behind it? And people remember pineapples. They don't always remember me, but they remember pineapples. And the pineapple says stand up straight. And I honestly think if I only spent the rest of my life teaching the world to stand up straight, take out your headphones, put down your phone, and actually look people in the eye, actually see people. We've lost what used to be called soft skills, I say, are essential. How do we look at people and actually see them, be present, be focused, and look them in the eye and make them feel seen? The second one is wear a crown. So the crown could be like ego or royalty, but really, to me, the crown is value. When we value ourselves, we get up, we drink water, we take a walk, we do something, but then we value other people. We look at them and we think they're valuable. They look different. They think it doesn't matter. They're valuable and I'm valuable. And when we're sweet on the inside, the keyboard kills me because I think people can sit home and write real mean things about you. You and I don't do that, but a lot of people do that. And they like to lay shade and get in fights. But if we're sweet on the inside, we use our words to encourage, to inspire, to uplift, to see, to compliment, to value. Like I spend a lot of time on airplanes. I request the middle seat because I can make two friends. If I bug one, I got another option. I compliment people as I walk through the airport. I look for earrings I like, or I look for an outfit and I just say, that's so cute. Or like, people are almost startled. For one thing, they're so turned in. And so that's what I want the world to know. Think about a pineapple. It's an easy symbol, and use it to remind you to stand up and actually see people. People are so lonely. Value yourself. And if we don't value ourselves, it's hard to value others. And be sweet on the inside. Use your words to spread kindness, encouragement, and love in the world. So that's kind of I teach on a lot of different things. As I've written 11 books, I get requested to speak on different books. But if people remember just one thing about me, it is to be a pineapple person to themselves first so that they can be it to other people in the world.
And I think you bring up a good point, too, about complimenting people, because the second you compliment somebody, what happens? It puts a smile on their face. I mean, you've seen the way I dress, I got my funky pants and, colors, and people remember me that way. But it's so interesting because so many people will walk up to me and say, I love your pants. And, I said, did I put a smile on your face? And I said, you absolutely did. And that's what it's all about, It's coming to the point now that if I don't wear bright clothes, people are like, are you okay today? Are you feeling okay? I'm like, I'm fine.
I know the same way. And think about this. when we compliment someone, not only does it make that person feel good, it makes us feel good. It's nice to be
Absolutely.
nice. It's fun to be kind. It's fun to do random acts of kindness. Like it's just joy. So yeah, I love it.
Because you as a person, who doesn't like getting a compliment, right? Absolutely.
Right.
End of the day, that's why we do it. So, what else do I need to talk to you about? I guess. All right. I'm going to back up for a minute. I should have asked you this before, but being from Minnesota and living down here in Southwest Florida, I know you've got a very busy schedule, but when you get a moment of free time, what do you enjoy doing down here in Southwest Florida?
Well, every day, every single day, 1 to 3 times, I walk the beach. A big reason I love Fort Myers Beach. I've loved it for years and years. But a big reason we decided to buy here is that it's a dog-friendly beach. And I have a little teeny dog that loves to walk with me. So first thing every morning, he bosses me around and we go to the beach. Now, he lollygags. So oftentimes I will bring him for his walk, bring him back, and then I'll go for a walk myself. I love to walk the beach. I love listening to music at the beach bar. Like that's one of our favorite things, my husband and I. We try our best when we're not going to the airport to never get in our car. We either walk or ride our bikes everywhere. I love that it's 7 miles of flat and you can walk, you can ride your bike. There's the trolley, not to add to traffic. And also I love that Florida is such an active community. We have 6 pickleball courts here where we live at Ocean Harbor. We live next door to Publix. We go to Junkanoo a lot next door. But we just love exploring on the beach. And we feel like we both still work, my husband and I. And so we work full time from our home. But when we look out on our lanai or sit out there, we see the water. And it's like you're working and on vacation every single day. So we love the beauty and the nature of Fort Myers Beach, but we also love the music and the people and the activities. So we do lots of things, but more than anything, I walk the beach. I love to walk the beach every morning and every afternoon. I tend to be working during the middle of the day, but first thing and last thing, I walk the beach and watch the sunset and think about that.
It's very peaceful. There's something calming about walking the beach and listening to the waves and being involved in nature. But the other side of it too is this is the island life. We're actually on an island, and it's funny because there's times during the week where I'm like, I haven't been off the island in days now, and it's like, and you go off and you're like, oh my God, I'm back into the real world. Put me back on the island. I want to be out here.
That's so funny. I just flew in 2 days ago from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I had my final speaking engagement in Michigan, and then I had a conference in Arizona, and I said to my husband, I came home and I'm like, I'm not used to being around people, like not at conferences I am, but just the city, like the streets were all busy and there's all, I'm like, we're so chill here. It's like coming back to the beach, everything's just relaxed and more grounded. And there's so many amazing writers on this beach. In fact, at the South End, Annette's Books is having a book signing for all of us local authors because people come here to relax and they write books because it's like you're slowed down and calmed down and you have this freedom to write. So there's lots of cool things happening. There's lots of hidden treasures on Fort Myers Beach. So it's kind of fun.
There we go. We don't want you to give them all away because people need to come here and discover themselves, and we don't want to get them too crowded, right? Like my little beach spot, I want it to be quiet. I don't want to go there.
Well, and I live Center Island, so I have a fairly quiet area that I live. People go to Publix, but when I go to the beach, there's always plenty of space. I'm not down by Times Square in the busy social area. I'm in the more quieter area. So
I'm down on the South End, so I think it's even quieter down there. It's nice because some of the condos aren't open yet, so there's nobody around there.
Nobody around.
Good and bad. But we got that nice, beautiful big bridge down there.
Yeah. Our son's an engineer and he's coming on Christmas Day, and I think he's more excited to see the bridge than us because he builds bridges and he's kind of seen the progress. Like, I want to see the bridge. And I'm like, you and Dad can walk over it. So
there we go.
Cool.
Perfect. So how would our listeners go about contacting you if they wanted to learn more or wanted some of your guidance, want to pick up one of your books?
Yeah. My website, everything about me is Annie Meehan. So my website's Annie Meehan. My LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram are all Annie Meehan. So just Googling my name, I should pop up and you should be able to find great ways to connect. My website has a place for you to send me a note. So however I can encourage you and support you, I try to release a lot of videos on YouTube. So when people can't afford to work with me, I can still encourage them. So I do that.
I love it. Any last words for our listeners today?
please join me in being a pineapple person. Please join me in seeing other people and valuing yourself and others, and I'm being sweet on the inside and using your words, written and spoken, to encourage one another. Merry Christmas.
Perfect. Annie, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for being such a good neighbor here on the beach, and we'll see you at the beach soon, or Junkanoo, right?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, remember to cabo until you wabo and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or local businesses to be on the show. Go to FMBGN-RESIDENT-Annie. That's FMBGoodNeighbor.com or call 23942-74100. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, the Tiki Pub Fort Myers Beach, and Current Riders FMB. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love.